Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the new Arbor A-frame, which got a drastic overhaul compared to the old one. It's now a swallowtail. So if you are shopping online, we did put affiliate links down in the description below, that way you don't have to go hunting for it. Otherwise, let's get right to this review. This board features good old-fashioned traditional camber. So from contact point to contact point, you have that arc of traditional camber that's going to give you all the load, pop, and power out of this board. This board is available in 158 and 162. I rode this board on Copper Mountain that was a mix of blue and gray skies. You had some dust on crust in areas. You had leftover pow from the previous 2 days' storms, some chopped chunder, perfect corduroy, some lumpy snow. You could get this thing to bottom out. You'd definitely hit more of that icy, crappy crust and death cookies underneath. And I used my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. The overall flex of this board comes in past middle of the road. It's not a full-blown plank, and actually it's probably stiffer than the older A-frame was. I haven't ridden one in years, but from what I remember, this is definitely softer. And it's directional, so you're gonna have a softer nose, and then right at the inserts, it just stiffens back up through the tail. The tail is a little softer when you're on edge just because you have that swallowtail in there, so you get a little bit of play. The torsional flex kind of matches up to this board. You really have to torque your ankle to get it to engage, and it's quick to rebound. When it comes to stability, this board is smooth. Like very, very smooth. You get a little chatter out in the nose, but most of that is killed off before it hits the front foot. When you get into rutted out terrain, it either climbs on top of it and skips over it, or it just pushes through it. The foot fatigue you feel on this board is very, very minimal. This was a good board for just riding over lumpy, crusty snow, or just getting into just wind-blown scree and whatnot, and not having to worry about keeping your knees bent or getting bucked around. You want to hit it flat base because obviously you got that swallowtail, so if you're a little more on edge, it's not going to pop as well. But the camber is slightly set back on this. Yes, it's traditional camber, but the apex of it is a little bit more towards the back foot, and you notice that when you roll back with it. So when you do, it engages and this thing just pops. It boosts. You find yourself porpoising in fresh snow, you hit a roller, you're in the air. Hell, I went in the park and hit some powder jumps, as I like to call them, because it was like powder park day, and I was just popping off of them, having a blast with it. This thing can really, really just get up in the air if you need it to. All right, so we're about halfway through this video. Why don't you give it a thumbs up? And after you do that, if you haven't already, why don't you subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the programming we've got coming out for you. Butterability. Yeah, the tail, there's really nothing there. So you got this longer nose and it's kind of pointy. You can pow butter with this thing if you know what you're doing. You got to pop a 180, and you got to be a little more over exaggerated with your movements, and you got to find that ideal sweet spot between the front insert and the tip of this board. When you do, it'll lock in, but it's still going to fight you. Basically, you're going to pop hard, land hard, and it's going to spring you right back out. You're going to put more work into it than you would think with the nose being softer and whatnot. So the thing with a swallowtail is sometimes you lose a little bit of power out of the tail just because of that actual swallowtail. This was not the case with this board. It still had a lot of power. This thing was great ripping around on a groomer. It rolls from edge to edge smoothly and nimbly. There's a lot of fluidity to this board. You can just feel it going toe to heel, back and forth. Short, tight, quick carves, medium, mellow carves, totally fine. Now, when you want to do a deep, hard, aggressive carve, it locks in and you can just really lay this thing over, put your arm out and just drag your nipple in your armpit. You don't have to worry about it. This thing was a blast at ripping carves. I was having so much fun with it. And like I said, you get that power off the back foot so you can really slingshot it out. And that's what's nice. So if you're doing like those short, tight, quick carves and you just need a little more power, you just push it into the tail and you spring out. Same thing with the medium and the harder carves. Overall, this thing was a blast. Rider in mind, this is someone that's going to the steeps, the deeps, they like to slash, and they're looking for a good board that's gonna have solid edge hold that they can free ride with. Like what we're doing over here? Want to support us further? Swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. It's probably been about 10 years since I rode an A-frame, and that's a completely different board, designed completely different. This board, to sum it up, fucks, and it fucks hard. Like, this thing blew me away with how good it was on a groomer and how good it was in POW. It's fluid edge to edge. It's got power where you need it. I rode this in anything from 2 inches up to knee-deep POW, and it floated. I took it in tight trees. I was boosting off rollers. I was porpoising in POW. I mean, this thing was just amazing for what it was. I really, really enjoyed it. This might actually be my favorite Arbor board for 2026. Comparable boards: the Bataleon Cameleon, the Endeavor Archetype. Binding recommendations: the Arbor Cypress, the Bataleon Astro AW, the Salomon Hologram. All right, so this has been my review of the new Arbor A-frame, and well, to sum it up again, it fucks. If you're looking for a swallowtail, you should definitely check this out. If you're not, go watch one of our other reviews.